Iran is the neighbor. You have a 2,700 kilometer Durand line.
This is a valid point, sir. You're saying that Saudi Arabia is not your neighbor, Iran is your neighbor. Whatever happens in Iran impacts Pakistan directly, sir.
Very badly. The reason is Pakistan has been accusing Iran, or Iran has also been accusing Pakistan, that they've been fielding some of their terrorist organizations in Balochistan, and the Balochistaners have been attacked. Even Condoleezza Rice has written in one of her books that if wherever she went in West Asia and she asked who were the enemy number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Iran. West Asia is Arab and this is a Persian world. The Persian world is headed by Shia. The Arab world is led by Sunni. So there is a crisis of leadership. What we had a problem with in India long back, the Saudis obviously have everything over there. So they want the leadership. And so they would want to keep Iran away from the beginning. Sanjay had so much worked hard at it to ensure that the sale of crude would be on dollar and a debt which is equivalent of the GDP. They have a $20 trillion debt. And the Americans also. The Americans also wrong because they have also violated the democratic rules of law. There is no denying the fact. If the Iranians have faltered, so have the Americans faltered. The question is who's faltered more and who's got the strength.
Who can manage the faltering better, sir?
मेरे में जोश है, जज्बा है, जुनून है, but I don't have the equipment to match the American equipment. If you have a clergy, politics, statecraft, religion are all separate things. You can't mix religion.
And unfortunately they have, sir. Unfortunately they have, sir. He was saying, he called me from Islamabad, known to me, I'll not take his name, sir, and he was saying that. Where do your generals have their properties? But do they have huge plazas in Dubai and do they have huge apartments in New York? I said, no, most of them are in Noida and Gurgaon and they live in 3 BHKs.
Absolutely. You know it where I stay. So there's no question. That's the way we are brought up. We are brought up in culture. We love our country. They are willing to sell their country. A country which has had 24 bailouts from the IMF.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Daily Brief by DefenceHQ. I have with me a very special guest, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, and we're going to talk about the Saudi-Pakistan defense deal and the backdrop of the Iran war. Sir, Jai Hind and a very warm welcome, sir.
Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
So, what do you think Pakistan is going to do? I'll cut to the chase. The Aramco pipelines and the refineries have been bombed, sir. Qatar has been bombed. So, the production of oil has pretty much halted across the Middle East. Now, Pakistan has a defense deal with Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia has been attacked. And the basic premise of the defense deal was that if one is attacked, it would be deemed to be an attack on both of them. Now, Pakistan has been attacked by the Taliban, at least in response. So, Pakistan initiated, the Afghan Taliban responded. Saudi Arabia didn't do anything. Do you see Pakistan doing anything, sir?
See, Pakistan's in a catch-22 situation. Primarily because we've had Iranians also attacking Pakistan just some time back.
Yes, sir.
And secondly, the deal that you talk about between Saudi Arabia and Pakistan was with the purpose that if either, they would help each other. You saw and noticed they can't do it, are unable to do it. Though, of course, the Pakistanis have said they would help Saudi Arabia sending some of their air defense equipment. Much of it was a failure during Operation Sindhu because 87% of the Pakistan equipment comes from China, and that is what they intend sending it to Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia itself is protected and well taken care of as regards the air defense is concerned. But notwithstanding that, even if they were to send some few troops across to Saudi Arabia, Iran is the neighbor. You have a 2,700 kilometer Durand line, of which about 1,400 kilometers is with Balochistan. The balance is with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Balochistan is a 900 kilometer boundary with Iran, or the Sistan Balochistan. You have a situation in Iran where there are 60%.
This is a valid point, sir. You're saying that Saudi Arabia is not your neighbor, Iran is your neighbor. Whatever happens in Iran impacts Pakistan directly, sir.
Very badly. So, reason is Pakistan has been accusing Iran, or Iran has also been accusing Pakistan that they've been fielding some of their terrorist organizations in Balochistan, and the Balochistaners have been attacking. Balochis are Sunnis. Most of them are Sunnis. Now, in Iran itself, there's 60% who speak Persian. You have almost about 12 to 13% who are Azeris. They call Azerbaijan Azeris. Then you have another about 12% of Kurds. Then you have another 4 to 5% of Baluch. So it in itself, Iran is not a united speaking.
It's not a homogeneous entity, sir.
No, definitely not an homogeneous entity.
It is diverse.
Diverse, which now is then exploited by the Americans, the Israelis, because the Kurds who were planning to, and one of the reasons why Soleimani got knocked off, because Soleimani was wanting to get all of them together and stand as a homogeneous group standing for Iran.
You're talking about General Qasem Soleimani, sir.
Yeah, and now you see how Iran stands divided. Now, boots on ground, what we talk about, are difficult, but if Kurds stand against them, now you find the boots on ground are there. It's a kind of a thing, the uprising can be created within Iran, and will have this boots on ground, which so far we thought navy finished of Iran. You found the complete air supremacy of Iran. You found the top leadership of Iran gone. All of it was gone. Iran is left with nothing. And the Iran's strength was that boots on ground for Americans or Israelis is very difficult.
It's going to be horrible. They'll make it horribly difficult for them. That was what the premise was.
Now watch.
Now with the Kurds coming in.
Kurds coming in, and Kurds have, since the Ottoman Empire, they have always felt discriminated, that they have not been able to get. The Turks won't let them do it. The Iranians won't let them do it. The Iraqis won't let them do it. The Syrians won't let them do it. Now is the opportunity with the Kurds get through the American help for an uprising within Iran. So Iran can implode. The possibility of implosion, irrespective of it, is there.
Is there. Now, sir, I'll come back to Pakistan, sir. Now, Pakistan has all these defunct air defense systems which did not, you very rightly pointed out, they didn't work during Operation Sindoor. These Chinese systems did not work in Venezuela as well, sir. They did not work in Iran, sir. The Israeli Air Force pretty much has the run of the day. They're flying all over Tehran, sir. The Americans are flying all over, bombing at will. And the 3 American airplanes were actually brought down by Kuwait, sir. They were not brought down by Iranians. Iranians did try to claim it. Now, Pakistan is fielding the same systems that failed in Operation Sindoor, that failed in Tehran, that failed in Venezuela. Now they are saying that we are going to put up these systems in Saudi Arabia. My question to you is, sir, we have seen what happened in the Karachi consulate. There have been attacks even in Lahore, other places where the population tried to get inside the embassy, oblique the consulate, and say that, we object and we strongly condemn Khamenei's death and his killing, and therefore this reaction. How does Pakistan balance it, sir? Because they have made commitments to Saudi Arabia. Do you think Saudi Arabia is going to hold Pakistan to account for those commitments made? Because they've taken money from Saudi Arabia, sir.
They should. If you ask me, they should.
Sir.
Pakistan just can't afford to live on doles from everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Take money from Saudi Arabia, use it for terrorism, you create madrasas everywhere, and then do the same. Then go along with China when they feel like, go along with America when they feel like, and live on doles. 24 of these IMF doles also for Pakistan. As regards the consulates are concerned, America has consulates in Karachi, America has consulates in Lahore, and an embassy in Islamabad. That's the way it is. However, these consulates are protected. They have an outer protection, the inner protection. The innermost protection is that of the Americans themselves, the Marines or some of the who guard the complete thing. Obviously, with 20% population of Pakistan is Shias, Karachi itself has about 35% Shias. So there's a sizable amount of Shias in Karachi. And therefore, you found the kind of resistance similar in Lahore. So 20%. India has 15% Shias. And
amongst the Muslim population, sir.
Yeah, 15% Shias in the Muslim population. And you see the kind of protests or the kind of, I would say outrage against the killing of the Ayatollah in India amongst the Shias community.
Especially in Valley we saw, sir.
Yeah. So in Valley, if you go to Kargil, I've seen it for myself, the kind of posters that you had on Ayatollah Khomeini.
Yes.
Khomeini I'm talking about. Khomeini is much later.
Khomeini's posters, sir, Soleimani, everybody's.
So you find that there's a sizable amount because they may be the 12th, this thing is yet to come and they have a lot of respect. And so the Shias have their own traditions and which we must respect. In that context, if you see Pakistan unable to assist Saudi Arabia fully, who facilitated Iran and Saudi Arabia? China. China is one which Pakistan seems to be the closest, saying that
But sir, China miscalculated then. You'll agree, sir, China miscalculated, sir. That this whole peace thing between Iran and Saudi Arabia, that we have now our diplomatic overreach into Middle East, and now we are also another power to reckon with. But that didn't work out very well, sir.
How can it work out? You'll be surprised, Gaurav. The entire, this thing, if you look at it, the Saudi Arabia had an ambassador in USA from 1988 till 2003 or 5. One family, the Crown Prince from Saudi Arabia, who was an ambassador of theirs in USA for so many years. You think the relationship between Saudi Arabia and America is totally different. Much that any other country would want to, see to it that they break away. Not possible. Aramco was also once attacked by Qatar.
Yes, sir.
Where that this thing. After that also, Chinese facilitated wanting Iran and Saudi Arabia so that they could take and thereafter sign a deal for $400 billion for 30 years with Iran for oil.
Yes, sir. They did. They signed the MOUs also and everything was in place.
And
yes,
just before
absolutely.
that, they signed equal, I think it was $400 or $300 billion of gas deal with Russia. They also had 85% picked from the Venezuela. So, as a result of which, Pakistan and the Chinese may have had their commercial interest in the entire thing, wanting to use Pakistan and Pakistan directly under threat from Balochistan. Balochistan having a 900-kilometer border with Iran. Pakistan directly under attack from their own Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Pakistan doesn't know what is going to hit from where. If they don't support Iran, the Iranians won't lead them. Because the entire thing, Iran has had a firing on Pakistan. Pakistan has been firing on Iran, not many months back before, and we'll just see what's going to happen. So, Pakistan is in a fix, and they need to be in a fix for wanting to play, and especially with the view to earn as much goodwill or as much of weaponry that they can, or money that they can to do this, and this is what they will end up in. And Pakistan's in a real thick soup for a very simple reason. Another thing I would like to mention over here is Saudi Arabia has at all times, even Condoleezza Rice has written in one of her books, that if wherever she went in West Asia and if she asked who were the enemy number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Iran. So none of them over there, because West Asia is Arab and this is a Persian world. The Persian world is headed by a Shia. The Arab world is led by a Sunni. So there is a crisis of leadership. What we had a problem with in India long back after the fall of the Ottoman Empire, the Caliphate.
Yes.
So we had the Turks come up, the Ataturk, the Kemal Ataturk wanting to raise, and then the Caliphate movement ended there. The Saudis obviously have everything over there. So they want the leadership. And so they would want to keep Iran away from the beginning. So this, what you just mentioned, the Chinese part of it wanting to facilitate, this was a no-go from day one. Who would allow anyone from outside to step in when Kissinger had so much worked hard at it
Yes.
to ensure that the sale of crude would be on dollar? Now, if you're going to pick up crude from Iran in your currency, or you're going to pick up crude in Venezuela in your currency, would the Americans, whose entire economy runs on only
They're going to be
dollars,
Yes.
would run? Not possible.
Not possible.
And a debt which is equivalent of the GDP. They have a $20 trillion debt. Can you imagine the GDP of USA is $20 trillion, the debt is also $20 trillion. This is the kind. The Americans, there's a method to the madness. The Americans aren't just going berserk or thinking that everybody seems to think. Of course, culturally, emotionally, I'm attached with Iran. I have no doubt. I'm attached with Iran. I love the Iranians. I've loved them.
You've trained with the Iranians.
Absolutely. But the fact, my students were Iranians. I have no problems at all. Fantastic people, very good people. You can instantly connect. But right now, when you see the geopolitical situation in the world and how the new world order is shaping up, if the Americans also wrong, because they have also violated the democratic rules of law. There is no denying the fact. The Iranians have also violated, they can't afford to support terrorist organizations like Hamas, Hezbollah, and Houthis, and also some of these organizations in Iraq.
Absolutely.
The Iranians have faltered.
Yes.
So have the Americans faltered. The question is, who's faltered more and who's got the strength?
Who can manage the faltering better, sir?
मेरे में जोश है, जज्बा है, जुनून है, but I don't have the equipment to match the American equipment.
Yes.
And therefore, I must understand my limitations and behave accordingly.
Yes.
And not just say, "Nay, I will do it." And if you have a clergy, then politics, statecraft, religion are all separate things. You can't mix religion.
And unfortunately, they have, sir.
They have.
Unfortunately, they have, sir. My last question to you is, sir, there has been a lot of talk, especially on social media, and some news outlets have covered it also. Now, there is no proof for this. There is no evidence for this, but apparently Pakistan allowed its airspace and its land to be used against Iran earlier also during Operation Midnight Hammer. But now they are saying that again Pakistani air bases have been used against Iran. Now, do you think this is true? Do you think there is a... so I'm not talking about evidence here, sir. I'm saying that do you think it is in the realm of possibility? Because can Pakistan say no? Tomorrow if the US were to tell Pakistan that we want to use your air bases and we want to not bomb, maybe reconnaissance. Let's say even reconnaissance. Is it possible?
See, Asim Muni doesn't control anything much what the Americans want. Asim Muni will be left becoming a salesperson only wanting to show those special earth materials.
Rare earths.
Yeah, rare earth materials to them and be able to become a salesperson for his country. That's it. There is no way Pakistan can stop America from doing what they want to do.
Inside Pakistan?
Inside Pakistan, because of a very simple reason. All these talks of the ceasefire that they talk about is why. It is because the Noor Khan was hit. And you know, Noor Khan is where the Kirana Hills are and what bothering them. How come the $600 million deal came through for upgradation of the aircraft, F-14s, F-16s that the Pakistanis have?
F-16, yes.
F-16. So you see the kind of harmony which required upgradation, all of it. The Americans control everything in Pakistan. So if Pakistan, otherwise why else would America have a concern of a nuclear with any other Islamic country rather than Pakistan? Because as much as Pakistan, they know exactly, the Americans know where and what and how to twist Pakistan. And therefore, Pakistan, much that it would want to, you see the kind of resistance. The armed army of Pakistan hates the Chinese. The armed army of Pakistan hates the American. But the establishment in Pakistan, which is with the army, I have to play around and play ball.
They love the Americans and they love the Chinese.
They love the Chinese.
They love anybody who's giving them money, sir.
They are getting richer.
Yes.
They're only the top, when India got independence, 30 families ruled Pakistan. Out of the 565, how many princely states were actually in Pakistan? They were already there. Most of us had to do this thing. So you realize that Pakistan per se is with 30 families from the very beginning, which may have gone up to say 100 families, and all the generals in Pakistan are having a fantastic time. None of them wanting to stay put in Pakistan with all the families in Europe, Australia, or wherever they wish to have. And that's where America, that's the place where they are, London, that's where the families are.
I'll end this with something which happened a few years back, sir. A Pakistani was saying, he called me from Islamabad, known to me, I'll not take his name, sir, and he was saying that, where do your generals have their properties? But do they have huge plazas in Dubai and do they have huge apartments in New York? I said, no, most of them are in Noida and Gurgaon and they live in 3 BHKs.
Absolutely. You know it where I stay. So there's no question. That's the way we are brought up. We are brought up in culture. We love our country.
Right.
They are willing to sell their country. A country which has had 24 bailouts from the IMF.
Sure.
And how many times we grey-listed
Yes.
by the financial task force. Then you know it, all of it.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much for joining. Ladies and gentlemen, you were watching the Daily Brief by Defense HQ. And we are going to be back again with another special guest. Till then, stay tuned and Jai Hind.